Hello, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone who is watching here today. I hope you all are having a great holiday. I hope you're getting to relax, eat some good food, spend time with family if you can. But today, we have a very special Castle Crashers custom. We have the mighty Glork and Glork's special location, the Glutton's Arena. So I'm going to get into this whole character and all this thing today. But I wanted to start with the stage first, just so we can kind of set the scene for Glork and what to expect. Because Glork has become my favorite character I've designed. And this was actually one of the first ones. This is a bit of an older design that I planned ahead of time to release for Thanksgiving, given that they're food-based. So let's get cracking here with the Glutton's Arena. So I wanted to make another location for Thanksgiving. I haven't done a location since the Desert Dweller. So I wanted to take another stab at making one and see what I could come up with. And this is the general vibe that I've created, is just this nice, funky little one-door arena, because it's going to be smaller than the other arenas in the game, because it's going to function a little bit differently from the other arenas in the game. So the way that you end up in the Glutton's Arena is a percentage chance. So I thought it would be pretty cool if every time you pick up a piece of meat, there's a percentage chance that a special little cutscene will play, and you'll get teleported to the Glutton's Arena. So it's kind of a almost roguelike element that would be thrown into the game, which the game doesn't have. So I thought this would be a really cool addition to the campaign, where you randomly pick up a piece of meat, not expecting anything, and all of a sudden a little cutscene plays and you get thrown into an arena here, this dimensional space, and you'll have to exclude it cutting off here, but in my mind, the background is consistently scrolling back and forth, this is a crazy, crazy dimension that you're in. It's a separate space, and you got this statue of this ominous figure over this little wall of chocolate here was the intention. And you got these giant sandwiches walling you in, and the floor is actually made up of the goop, which is one of the unused things from the game mode. All you can quaff. I'm going to talk about all you can quaff for a little bit, just because that was the main inspiration for Glork and all of this stuff. I grew up playing the 360 version of the game, and that was one of the mini games on there was all you can quaff. It was just a button mashing hell nightmare. It wasn't really too in depth of a game, but my little kid brain thought it was the greatest thing ever created. So it stuck with me for a while, and as Castle Crashers has gotten all of the new stuff announced with the DLC and the character creation, it really kind of got this idea churning in my head of I want to give all you can quaff some love. And I decided to do that in the form of a character. So Glork comes from the name of the achievement, which I think is you win 40 matches of all you can quaff online or something like that. And we'll get into it then, but just to show you, Glork has the achievement icon on their little apron here. So this is the Glork. This is what you become when you quaff too much. But this is the Glork's arena. This is the Glutton's arena. This is where all those who have eaten too much go to battle. So after your character, we got the trusty ninja here, after you get teleported in, it's going to function the same as any other arena, where the doors will open, and you'll have to make your way through waves of enemies. So for this one, we got the meatheads. So these, gameplay-wise, would just be reskinned skeletons with some of the food-based weapons, and that's pretty much it. You know, there's nothing too complex to these guys. They're called the meatheads. And the way this arena would work, in one of its differences from the regular ones, is that it's just going to be 3 waves of 5 enemies. So it's 3 waves of 5 meatheads. You know, you gotta have your 3 meals for the day. So you make it through your 3 fights of your 5 dudes here, and if you beat them, you will be rewarded with a character boss fight, kind of like the Necromancer or the Polar Bear. You'll fight Glork, and you know, you two will do your battling, do your fight, and once you beat Glork here, you'll be transported back to the level that you ate the meat at. Same spot, everything. You know, idealistically, that's how I would have it. But if you beat Glork, you would unlock them. And this could be done in normal or insane mode. It's all the chance of you getting teleported here when you eat meat. And I figured that'd be okay, because there's guaranteed meat drops in a few levels. So, you know, hopefully if you have decent luck, you'll end up getting your run-in with Glork and your attempt to win and unlock them. But that is the stage I've come up with here, just because I wanted to try my hand at some more level design. I haven't designed a level like since the shop, so I wanted to give it another go. And I think I came up with something pretty cool here. I quite like it. Just a simple little space that has some roguelike elements, RNG elements, whatever you'd call them, but something fresh to throw into the game that's not the usual thing, I'd say. Because there's the only real, like, chance related stuff that happens in the game is like status or critical hits, what items drop when you kill an enemy, stuff like that. So I figured having an entire area have a percentage chance of showing up, and it being, you know, pretty simple, because it's just you versus some meat guys, and then you fight the leader of the meat guys, you know. Something fun, something simple, but I think it'd have a lot of pizzazz, a lot of charm, if there were more, like, random events kind of thrown your way during the campaign, because as fun as it can be to run through the game, there are definitely some times where it can feel, especially if you're seasoned playing through the Castle Crashers campaign, where it could get a little dull. So I think having something like this kind of thrown in your way would, you know, liven things up a little, especially if you run into this on, like, insane mode, because then it's like, oh, shoot, you know, that's something crazy, because I think it'd be kind of funky if this still happened even after you unlocked Glork here, and then you know, it's kind of like a little extra threat challenge that gets thrown your way, since, like, oh, you, especially if you really needed that meat to heal you on an insane mode run or whatever, the chance of this happening would, I think, kind of throw a lot of people off and keep them on your toes in a fun way. Just because I think adding difficulty to the Castle Crashers is fun when it's, you know, in a balanced amount. Or you're on the other end of the spectrum and it's just insane difficulty all the way through for those hardcore jugglers and all those kind of players. I think it's good to have a spectrum of difficulty for the game, especially since normal mode is incredibly easy and insane mode gets insane. But yeah, I think this kind of sets the stage for the silliness to expect from Glork and their shenanigans. And yeah, I thought this would be pretty fun, having a unique area with unique enemies and a unique character that you unlock as a reward. But yeah, and we'll just clear this up so we get a nice look at the battlefield. And yeah, I thought making an arena, a new one, would be a pretty sweet addition to this little Glork I've created. And speaking of, we're gonna move on from the arena, and we're gonna move to the showcase for Glork. So, starting with Glork here, and their weapon, the full fit. This is their iconic little spatula we'll get to later. But here is Glork in all their glory. I wanted to use the meat as the head. I thought that was just the perfect food item. It's got a nice shape right here, and then adding the bonuses, giving Glork a crazy mouth, and this nice little crown here. And just so we move through the body, I gave them the French fry food item as a shield right there, and then we got their little apron here with the Glork achievement logo here, just to really give them some nice pizzazz. I love Glork. Glork is a weird freak, and I think that's relatable. So I really enjoyed this vibe of just like a nice, like, kind of eyeless character with some humanoid vibes, you know, because it's just a kind of a shape you didn't really expect. It's just got a crazy circle with the little protrusion. It's not a dude in any kind of armor, you know, it's just this weird meathead, and they're gonna show you what for. But moving on from Glork themselves to their portrait, and I had a lot of fun with this one. So this is just Glork giving you some service with a smile. So these are all food items from the game, and then also some stuff from All You Can Quaff. So that we got the cactus, we got the little bowl of squid. I made it a full squid, a full dead one here. We got corn and peas with a little butter. We got the iconic goop, delicious sweet goop. And yeah, just Glork with a nice smile and a little pose here. And yeah, the same, so this background is inspired by the actual All You Can Quaff background. I pulled it from that and threw on my own shapes where applicable and that kind of thing. But yeah, I thought the colors really set the tone well for Glork. The crazy food and just kind of the just the general food-centric vibe really sells this character. I think they have a lot of charm. And Glork, look at that smile. Can you deny this freaking smile? Look at this freaking smile right here. So this is where a lot of my love for character design came in, just because I wanted to do some kind of food character because of All You Can Quaff. I wanted to. That was just the goal. And I think this is the best thing I could have ever come up with. It's just I love them so much. They have amazing personality. I didn't want to give them eyes. I think they're much more charming without like crazy eyes on them or anything like that. And speaking of charm, this is the Back Off Barbarian sprite. So a rather big one in comparison to the others. I don't know how this would translate like gameplay-wise, but I would like downsize and make adjustments if necessary. But we have a bit of lore here too, because this is how Glork was born. From a delicious giant piece of meat, they emerged, and now they're ready to cook. But yeah, because with designing this one, I originally just had them like in like a standing pose with the peace signs, and I was like, I want Glork to have a little more. So I came up with the idea of using that big piece of meat from the all-you-can-quaff menu and made it their beautiful cocoon that they've emerged from to be a beautiful meat butterfly. Yeah, that's really the gist with Glork, because I just wanted to I tried to inject as much charm into them as I physically could, and I think that has come across pretty well. But we're gonna see Glork transform into something bigger, stronger, and more delicious after they eat a delicious sandwich. And here's what'll happen. Bam! Now that's a beefy beefster right there. Yeah, this one was pretty in terms of just like coming up with the design very by the numbers. You know, just the expansion with the apron, the logo's still there. Uh, I have it adjusted slightly just for convenience sake. And you'll see it in the actual frames themselves, how everything moves around well. But yeah, Glork had to be a nice chunky beefy. And you got this big thing of fries and all this good stuff. So I yeah, I was thrilled with it. Just a nice transition from this to this, you know. Uh, that wraps it up for Glork themselves. You know, they're a beast of a warrior right here, and their trusty weapon is the Golden 86er. So, another addition to the golden weapons. I think that's always cool to add more of these bad boys. And what better than a blood-stained cooking utensil made of gold? And the stats aren't insane. You know, just some strength, some magic, some good health, and a pretty decent burn chance. Nothing too outrageous. Just a cool weapon. You know, I wanted a fire inflicting one for the cooking character, and I think this just, you know, it was the perfect fit for Glork, just giving them a nice spatula to beat you to death with. Yeah, and that kind of just very nice straightforward weapon, no crazy extra things or any new things, just a generally pretty good weapon, I'd say. But we can move on to something that does have a little bit crazier of a change. We have the spicy quaffling. Uh, so this is a floating little freak with some spicy meat hair and little bone feet and a different kind of smile. So, you know, this character is gonna have some pretty straightforward stuff. They're gonna be in the new mode animal orbs that I've kind of attempted to create here or there. And here's how we show that. So the quaffling, or the spicy quaffling, whichever you prefer, is going to give you a +2 in strength and defense. So, you know, a decent addition to your stats. But the new thing that happens here is the change to meat that happens with quaffling. So the meat that you're going to get is going to heal a little bit more, but despite it being, I think, probably the equivalent to a potion in terms of healing, like it'd probably be like a full heal, after you eat the meat, it's going to inflict a permanent burn for the rest of the level. I kind of came up with this idea with just what's a quirky difficulty thing I could throw in here, because I like kind of making the animal orbs have more game-altering effects. That's not just a unique skill or crazy stat bonuses. Like I wanna change the game with some of these ideas, and that's what I came up with for the quaffling here. Is it kind of adds a new layer of difficulty with grabbing that illustrious meat, and potentially even more changes. Um, I could even change it from just the meat item to every food or healing item has this effect. You know, just a crazy new experience of Castle Crashers where anytime you eat food, you're just on fire. So, yeah, this is where I had a lot of creative juices flowing for an animal orb, because yeah, just kind of this little extra buddy here with some crazy hair that's just spicy meat. Um and and yeah, just a new way to experience Castle Crashers with this change here. And I hope it'd be fun. I hope it wouldn't be too hellish or painful to deal with, you know? But yeah, this pretty much wraps it up for Glork. I really wanted to show some appreciation for the 360 version of the game, and you know, a mini game that I remember spending a lot of time on playing as a kid, trying to mash my way through it. But yeah, Glork was an absolute treat to come up with. And I hope you guys enjoy, because this is definitely, I think, one of my star characters I've created, especially of the completely original ones. I think Glork is one of my best, alongside the Desert Dweller and what of my like completely original ones do I really like too? I'll figure that out later. That's fine. But with all that said, I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. I hope your holiday is great. If you get a break from work, I hope it's full of rest, relaxation, and this, you know, hopeful long break and nice weekend off from all kinds of crazy stuff is great to you all. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Let me know what you think of the character. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to, and thanks again for checking out this series and checking out all these characters I've been cooking up. Yeah, thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good one, and I hope you'll stick around for the next one. Have a good time, everybody. Peace.